Maybe trouble ahead. Right. Let's stay hydrated first. Breaking news. Jorge Masvidal has stepped in to fight Kamaru Usman on 1 week's notice. Breaking fucking news. Look, it's been a while since I've been able to say breaking news, which is why I banged on an Ariel Helwani shirt for you guys. I don't have many check shirts, but I put one on to say breaking news to you guys, just like Ariel Helwani would. I put the camera on, put the mic on. Now, disclaimer, before I start talking, I usually like to let things marinate in my head and have a think about stuff, process things, form an opinion before I jump on the internet and talk to people about it. However, on this occasion, due to the fact that I'm so excited and I just can't hide it, I've decided to just share my initial thoughts about the fact that Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman have agreed to fight each other at UFC 251 on a week's notice. There is one hurdle that they need to negotiate, which is the fact that they both need to do a COVID test in Vegas, pass that test or pass it with a negative result, and then they can bugger off to Abu Dhabi and fight each other. Now, I'm not very concerned about the fact that they still need to do a COVID test because Kamaru Usman presumably did a COVID test at the same time Gilbert Burns did when Gilbert Burns failed his test initially. So you'd assume Kamaru Usman passed his test then. So unless he's gone back to wherever he's from and just wilded out with a load of people during July the 4th weekend in America and caught COVID from 7 different people, then you'd assume he's going to pass. Jorge Masvidal was showing on his social media, on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, that he was doing a COVID test of his own. So if he's passed his and Kamaru Usman hasn't caught it in the last couple of days, then I don't think there'll be any trouble with both of them passing this COVID test and going to Abu Dhabi to fight each other. So before I just give my reaction, I just want to give a couple of, not a negative, but just a kind of side thought. So over the last 2 or 3 weeks, Jorge Masvidal has been talking all manner of shit about the UFC, about the pay structure, about how fighters are treated, about the revenue split between fighters and what the organization itself keeps. And I genuinely thought that him being so vocal and negative towards the UFC would be a real setback for him jumping in to face Kamaru Usman once Gilbert Burns dropped out. Do you know what I mean? I thought that, oh man, if he hadn't have done that, there'd be a chance that the UFC would actually contact him and say, look, name your price, jump in and fight Kamaru Usman. Do you know what I mean? Clearly, that wasn't the case. Clearly, the UFC didn't hold it against him. And I'm happy to say that they've managed to agree a deal because, look, let's not forget, it's not just Jorge Masvidal on his side that needed to agree a deal with the UFC. Also, Kamaru Usman. He's also now fighting Jorge Masvidal on 1 week's notice. So he's clearly, him and Ali Abdelaziz have had to agree, I'd assume, a pay increase to fight Jorge Masvidal. So, look, all of that shit aside, everyone's happy, everyone's smiling, everyone's ready to fight, and I'm fucking excited. I am fucking excited. Like, how's this going to work? Because, look, I'd assume they're both going to stay in the same hotel in Vegas. Are they going to get on the same plane? Are they going to both jump on the same plane and fly to Abu Dhabi knowing that fucking Kamaru Usman, he's sat 10 seats behind me, and Kamaru Usman's just lying down, kind of pressing the button, like going like this, and just looking up over the seats and that, and you can see Jorge Masvidal's ponytail, or a woolly hat that he wears, a beanie hat. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things I need to know. Like, it's fucking, like, do you know what I mean? There's so many. I just want, like, I want more information, innit? I want more information about how all of this is going to play out. I just need to know more things about how all of this came about, and just generally, like, how they're going to, like, go about logistically getting this sorted. That's because I'm kind of sad and a bit geeky, do you know what I mean? But that's just me. Like, a couple of points about the fight itself. Like, for me, I feel like people are giving Jorge Masvidal a lot of credit for jumping in on a week's notice because Kamaru Usman presumably has had a full training camp. But I kind of feel like it's a more of a difficult situation for Kamaru Usman than it is for Jorge Masvidal. The reason I say that is it's almost like, for Jorge Masvidal, it's almost like being a straight road to this fight. so, with one bump. Sorry, like he's been training with Kamaru Usman in mind, that I'm going to fight Kamaru Usman. He hit this bump, this roadblock where him and the UFC couldn't agree the money, and then he got over that bump. They've agreed a purse, and he's going to fight Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, on the other hand, he was training for Jorge Masvidal. Bump. Jorge Masvidal's not agreeing the purse. He's taken this detour, this Gilbert Burns detour. He's been training for the last God knows how many weeks for Gilbert Burns. Bump. Gilbert Burns is no longer fighting, and now he's back driving his way back to this road, the Jorge Masvidal road. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, like, the internet's going wild about Jorge Masvidal for accepting this fight. Oh, this is why he's the real BMF. This is why they call him game bred, blah, blah, blah. But give Spear a thought for Kamaru Usman. Like, don't get me wrong. I give both of them equal amounts of credit. I'm not saying Kamaru Usman deserves more credit than Jorge Masvidal does. But what I am saying is I feel like the internet's going mad for Jorge Masvidal, and that's because he's a bigger star, I'd assume. Do you know what I mean? But Kamaru Usman deserves as much credit that as Jorge Masvidal does. Jorge Masvidal, this is best case scenario for him. Like, this situation is a win-win. Like, he's getting paid what he wanted to get paid, and if he loses, he's got a built-in excuse. And I'm not saying that he's just going there for the money. I'm not saying he doesn't believe in himself, because I think he does. I think he does believe in himself, that he thinks that he's going to go there and beat the shit out of Kamaru Usman. But if he doesn't, I took it on a week's notice. Give me a proper training camp, and I'll do better next time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's his mind state, but it's a fact. Do you know what I mean? That is a fact. The fact of the matter is that Jorge Masvidal, like, it would be very difficult for him to come out looking bad from this situation. Kamaru Usman, on the other hand, he's had a full training camp, blah, blah, blah. If Jorge Masvidal comes and smashes him, you lost to Jorge Masvidal on a week's notice. Like, there's a couple of things that I'm a little bit concerned about with regards to just making weight and general kind of the shape that they're going to be in for the actual fight. Like, because Jorge Masvidal, I don't know if he's been training over the last couple of weeks. I don't think he'll have a problem making weight, but I don't know where he's going to be cardio-wise. Will he be in physically ready to go 5 rounds, five grueling rounds against someone like Kamaru Usman? Kamaru Usman, on the other hand, he was, he'd been training up until a point. His fight's been off for like 2-3 days or something like that. So what has he been doing in those 2 or 3 days? Did he just stay ready? Like, did he just think, all right, well, the UFC are negotiating with Jorge, let me not go crazy, let me not eat 4 or 5 pizzas and a doner kebab? Do you know what I mean? Did he just carry on as if he was going to fight because he knew there was a chance? Or did he just lose his shit and just fucking start eating whatever he wanted to eat? Because he's a big welterweight. So, like, will this hinder him from making weight? Like, he should have been in Abu Dhabi already. So he's gonna get there like a day or two later than he should have done. Is that gonna affect his weight cut? And if that affects his weight cut, will he make weight? And if he does make weight, will that hinder his performance in the octagon? These are all questions that I will be addressing in my actual pre-fight video. This is just my initial reaction to the fact that these two are fighting. Like, it's all happened so quickly. I've been going crazy on Instagram and that. Follow me at the Battle Camp, and I posted a couple of things. I don't really post my own shit on Instagram, I'm not gonna lie. I just repost other people things that I like. And yeah, like, one of the biggest questions from all of this is the fact that Jorge Masvidal wears tracksuits with loafer shoes. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wore a tracksuit, and you just assume I'd wear trainers with that. Not Jorge Masvidal, mate. He'll wear fucking Gucci loafers. He just does what he wants when he wants. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. What do you think about this fight? Like, actually, before I do my end bit, like, I was 100% going to stay up for this event, innit? I was going to stay awake all night to watch this event with the card as it was with Gilbert Burns on it. Fuck me. I'm 100% staying up for it now. Like, I was 100% before, so I'm like 137%. Like, it will take a lot of alcohol for me to not be up for the main event, because this card, I don't know if we're going to see a better card than this year. Like, not just this fight, the entire card. Like, this fight, I don't know if I said this earlier on in the video, but Jorge Masvidal for me was the genuine #1 contender for the title. So and I've made videos previously talking about the fact that, no disrespect to Gilbert Burns, but they've just pushed him up the rankings because he was a guy available for the fight. He don't deserve the title fight. We've got a fight now where a guy genuinely deserves the title fight, and he happens to be a star, and it happens to make for an exciting fight. But just put this fight to the side for 1 second. The rest of the card is crazy. The whole fucking event is sick. It's a mad card. Honestly, like, I don't know if the UFC will be able to top it. But just looking at this fight now, like I always say, the thing that really draws me to a fight is that element of unknown. Like you can evaluate fighter A skills, or you can evaluate Kamaru Usman's skills, you can evaluate Jorge Masvidal's skills and weaknesses, and then you can kind of predict, oh, I think the fight's going to go this way. But I'm going to make a prediction, but nothing's going to surprise me. Like something crazy can happen at any minute between both of these guys. Do you know what I mean? And that's what really fucking grabs me by the balls, and this is what really makes me want to watch this fight. I fucking can't wait, man. Like, just like something better not happen where this fight falls through. Do you know what I mean? Like, all the pieces have just fallen into place all of a sudden, and now all we got to do is just wait a week and the fight's going to happen. I talked way too fast during this video, and it's just because I am genuinely excited. Let me know what you guys think. Don't be scared to hit the like button. Comment what you think about what I've just said. Comment what you think about this fight. Give me your predictions and stuff like that, and if someone talks sense, I'll definitely mention it in my prediction video myself. Do you know what I mean? Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend if you've enjoyed it. And before we go, I haven't had a haircut since end of February, and I got my haircut yesterday, and look at it. Look at it. Look how good it looks, and the beard as well. Look at the fade. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time.